Okay, so I just realized I look really like much more professional from like here up, but I totally slipped on yoga pants earlier um, because that has been that kind of day. I've been grading essays pretty much all day, and my brain is fried. So that would obviously be the perfect time to have a conversation with you. Um, so I just realized, well, I just, when I was looking back at the other video, I wanted to give you kind of an image of Sophie because I can't draw. Wish I could. It'd be so much easier to be able to, draw these characters out and see them a bit more tangibly. So what I do, and I know other people do this, you search for actors and models and people online that kind of fit. And Sophie's been hard to find, so I have a couple photos that I'm gonna edit in, which we should see how this works. Her name is Farron. Oh, I can't even pronounce her last name. Guerrero. I'm not sure. She was in a 2009 movie called New in Town with Harry Connick Jr. and Renee Zellweger, and she played Harry Connick Jr.'s daughter, Bobby. And she looks much more adult and gorgeous and definitely leading lady material. But when she did New in Town, she looked like a teenage girl, and kind of what I had in mind for Sophie. Cute, but not skinny. Um, she has a slightly more tomboyish look than I picture Sophie having. But anyway, here's a couple of photos, and I'm sorry they're screenshots, so they don't really, they're not the greatest of quality, so let's pull those up. So yeah, I think Farron has beautiful blue eyes. Sophie would always say hazel, but if I was going to find someone with the right color eyes, I'd be looking all my life. Um, but I thought that's kind of what I had in mind. Like I said, cute, but not like bam, gorgeous. But seriously, look her up sometime because her new photos from whatever independent she's doing are just stunning. I was going to talk about Ezra, but then I started thinking about Jules and my and how much I just love Jules. So I thought I would talk about her. She does get her story told. That is the third book in the trilogies from the point of view of Jules, and it will backtrack some and cover some of what happens in Phase from her point of view. I can't help it. I've already written some journal entries with her, from her voice, and oh god, she's funny. I don't think I realized how funny she was. So again, sort of looking for a person or an actor that looks like what I think. And Jules has been really hard to find. I actually have a friend who's drawing a photo, or drawing a drawing of what she thinks she looks like, and she showed me part of it, and actually it put in mind an actress that I thought could work. Um, if you saw Mirror Mirror or I don't know, was it Abduction? This young, and she's going to be in the new City of Bones movie, Lily Collins. Um, if she wasn't quite so pale. Jules has kind of a golden tone, Native American, skin color, and so Lily Collins is a little too pale. But I found a couple with kind of the hair, and obviously there's no streak of white, but I thought they were pretty impressive. It's mostly the eyebrows that make me think of Jules. So let me pull those up. So yeah, kind of a sense of who Jules is, kind of that crazy hair. She should be fairly, stopping traffic, beautiful. Um, I guess I just wanted her to always cause attention, even though she doesn't like attention. Originally, Phase started out with Sophie just looking up in her English class and seeing this girl, and just being kind of floored with how gorgeous she is in a non sexual way. Because I don't know about anyone else. I think this is maybe an artist's thing that when you see someone or art of any kind that is just so beautiful, it's not lust or anything like that. It's this just an enormous appreciation that there's something that beautiful, and it just fills you with this sense of awe and reverence. And sometimes people in their beauty, which I know a lot of them, you know, have done nothing to get. Some of them have done a few things to get and take very good care of themselves. But, you know, I guess, you know, that's kind of how Sophie would see Jules, and Jules just kind of needs to be a little show-stopping, which would explain some of her, you know, pushing away of people, especially guys, because guys are naturally going to react to a girl that hot. I can't tell you a whole lot about Jules's backstory, because that comes into play in the third book, and, you know, I'm still finding it all out myself. She keeps revealing secrets to me. You know, the idea with Phase was to come from, I wanted to write about friendship, which isn't a story, that's a theme, and I never really start with a theme, but for some reason I just really wanted to write about girl friendship. And I remember I was lying in my bed in April of 2009, staring at the ceiling, and just thinking I'd been redoing my first novel, you know, but I was thinking of other ideas, because when you're supposed to be working on one project, that's when you want to work on all the other projects. It's like a stubborn thing. So I was thinking, friendship. Well, what happens if one of them wasn't human? That's kind of how it was born. But I started from the human's point of view. One, because as an audience, as far as I know, you're all human. And, you know, that was a good way to enter the world and sort of expand the world from there. You know, not from the girl who's the orphan who is the special one. I mean, that's fairly typical and a little cliche in stories, but that's how the hero's journey, the sort of classic hero's journey, works. I mean, we've got Harry Potter, and they always lose their mentor. It happens across the board. Happens in Narnia. You know, they lose Aslan. Sorry if that was a spoiler. You know, it's a classic tale, and I just didn't want to start from Jules's point of view. Her background does contain some abuse, but more of the neglect than any sort of, you know, physical or sexual abuse. Because she's strong. Due to her nature, she's always been strong. She didn't know that. She didn't know that's why, you know, she's just always been strong and could protect herself, even when she didn't know why she could or why she needed to. But she comes from such a lack of trusting and, you know, lack of love sort of life that she views everyone with suspicion. And there's something heartbreaking about a person like that, and that's why Sophie bewilders her to no end. And she, you know, Jules immediately, you know, lashes back on someone who's showing her what she considers pity, when it's actually just, what Sophie's offering is just, you know, friendship. So, you know, what else can I tell you about Jules that's not a spoiler? She dresses pretty casually. Sophie tends to go into old-fashioned. She sort of dresses in, like, you know, 1950s skirts. Not quite like the poodle skirt, but, you know, like little twin sets and skirts and stuff. Like, really old-fashioned because her parents are older. I just picture her like that. Jules is very, very casual t-shirts and jeans. Anything that can kind of cover how absolutely gorgeous she is. Because that's protection. I don't know if she would have ever changed that, even in her growth. I don't think she'll ever feel comfortable playing up her best, you know, features. Her eyebrows, you know, are probably the most dominant features, but her eyes, like, we're supposed to be alien, you know, kind of surprise you, kind of freak you out, as well as being beautiful. Again, sort of adding to her mystery and the intrigue that Sophie has when she sees her for the first time. I'm trying to think. Jules, I don't want to tell you too much about her. her relationship with Micah, obviously, or lack of relationship, the antagonism between them will be looked at closer in the third book. Like I said, I mean, I can't give you much without sequels, but she's great. She's incredibly loyal. She curses like a sailor. You don't see that in Faye's, because she kind of holds it back around Sophie because she knows Sophie's a good girl, but in her journal that I've been fiddling with, oh my gosh, I'm even a bit appalled at how much she curses. Yeah, it seems very, very real that she would curse all the time. The things that she calls Summer, I think she naturally wants to be affectionate like the wolves are, but, years and environment has made her extremely wary of that. I can't think of a better word than wary or cautious. And so she, deep, deep innately, she wants to be able to hug and to care and to play and to be much more affectionate, even with the pack, even the ones that sometimes she gets annoyed with. But experience has taught her to not do that. So it's almost like she resisted her natural instincts, and now she has to overcome that resistance to be affectionate again, which Sophie brings out because Sophie's naturally affectionate. Again, something that I sort of had to be delicate about, because I knew as I was writing Phase that a lot of people would think there was something else other than friendship going on between Jules and Sophie, which was a little frustrating because my friends and I are really huggy and stuff. I mean, I'm Southern. We're just like that. And my friends, I think, have had to sort of suffer that with me. But, for some reason, putting it in a novel in written form, it came out to sound so much more, ooh, what's going on kind of thing. And I just didn't want that, because it taints what the friendship is. That it is just true friendship, a love that doesn't delve into something else. But I figured the best way to deal with it was to, have Summer sort of call them on it and make fun of them and be horribly inappropriate about it. So there's that. I'm trying to think what else that I could tell you about her. I think she resonates with more people who read it. I've got a lot of students who like Jules. Her struggles that you will find out more, really truly make her sort of an extraordinary person. And I think maybe Sophie, realizes that even without knowing. And she is special, special in a way that hasn't been revealed yet. The fact that she's a white wolf has its reasons. There's something about that and her family and, that kind of stuff that I can't tell you yet. But, yeah, so I guess that's Jules. I wish I could tell you more, and, maybe I will. However many years it takes to get those novels out and be part of the canon of young adult literature. I think next time I'll talk about Ezra. You want to be here for that. And I have actually, I love it. Well, I say love it. I love all my characters. I even love the ones that you probably don't like Summer. Summer, for some reason, man, I really like writing her. I like writing Aiden, which I know a lot of people probably don't like. I like, obviously I love writing Gil, but he was, well, you can't help but adore him. There's all these characters are just fun in their own way. But Jules is pretty special. She has that sort of broken background that she seems to be able to grow and overcome, hopefully with help from Sophie and from Ezra and the pack and what's going to happen to her. And finding who she is and accepting what and who she is, which I think is pretty important for anybody, shifter or not. I think that's something that we deal with when we're teenagers and even when we get older. You know, who am I exactly? And why does that, you know, why is that important? Can I even like that person? Can I accept that person? And just by accepting doesn't mean that you just stay in a rut and don't grow. You must grow and you must improve. And I think that's kind of Jules' story. Sophie doesn't have to change as much. She grows, not in the same sort of significant way that Jules will. And how about that's for a teaser? I promise you it'll be great. I mean, at least I think it'll be great. So next time we'll talk about Ezra. Maybe we'll talk about some more of the pack. You know, the boys, my cute boys, because you have to include cute boys when you're writing young adult literature. And hey, like I said, I'm a great admirer of beauty, all types. All right, so I'm gonna say goodbye. I hope this was enjoyable because, you know, I like sharing this with you, and I really hope that you enjoy listening to my ramblings and my hand gestures and facial expressions and shrugs and everything that you can do in this amount of space, the sort of area to make this an interesting video. I'm rambling again, and it's obviously late. It's those essays. The essays fried my brain. I'm sure they fried my students' brains as they wrote them. So it's, you know, turnabout's fair play. They always want me to mention them, apparently, on my blog and in these videos. But I'm not mentioning them by name. I'm just mentioning them sort of in general. Have a wonderful week, or whenever I talk to you again. This is ECNEWMAN signing out. Go tell someone about Faze so we can get this thing rolling. Peace out.